So as most of you people know, the NBA season begins today, just a few hours from now. Around 7:30 p.m. is when the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers go head-to-head. And today I want to talk about the Celtics in particular, a team that I've tried to record this video multiple times, and every time something's been wrong with it, the audio was wrong, or I forgot to talk about a point that I wanted to talk about, or stuff like that. One of them I even had the video or audio from one of my other YouTube videos playing in the background. I don't know how, because it wasn't on my computer or on my phone or anything, so I'm not quite sure how that happened, but here I am recording it for, I believe, the fourth time now. And I want to talk about the Boston Celtics and how there's an opportunity or a chance that this team gets right back to the finals, but there's also a chance that this team missed their best chance in a very long time to win an NBA championship. Now, obviously, they're going to be a contender. A lot of people aren't going to expect them to start nearly as bad as they did last year. You're not going to expect them to have that amazing turnaround. I believe they went from like 17-19. They almost went undefeated in February. They just had a great 2022 season. They were able to get as high as the second seed. They fought for the first seed for a little bit there. But unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get it. Everything just seemed to go perfect for the Celtics at the end of that season there, They get into the playoffs. The Nets are a team that a lot of people expected to give them trouble in that first round. And relatively, the Nets played well. A lot of their games were close, but as we all know, the Celtics swept them. The Celtics went in there and they made it look easy against the Brooklyn Nets. And honestly, they made the Nets look like a complete joke if we're talking about how good or how bad the Nets played in that series. Other than that, though, pretty much everything else went perfect for them. The Bucks, outside of the Chris Middleton injury, which sure, yes, that does maybe change the outcome of the series, but at the end of the day, the Bucks shot like 1 for 48 from 3 in that final game 7. I'm exaggerating a little bit because I'm a Bucks fan and it pains me to say that to this day, but yeah, we just shot terrible, and the Celtics played better than us. They deserve that win. They go to game 7 with the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler has an opportunity, a wide open transition 3 in the heat of the moment, clanks it off the rim. Then they get into the finals, and yeah, they kind of ran out of luck, it seemed like. They had trouble getting their offense going. The Warriors were just consistently better than them offensively and defensively, which is crazy to think considering how good this Celtics team was defensively. So you've got to think that last year, everything went perfect. Everything fell together for them. Is that going to happen this year is the main thing. They've already got Danilo Gallinari, one of their bigger offseason additions, out for the season with an ACL tear. You've got Robert Williams still consistently struggling with knee injuries. He's going to miss about 4 to 6 weeks, and that's if he comes back healthy and doesn't get injured again. It seems like Robert Williams is one of those guys that I love to watch him on the floor. He's a great center to watch. He's a very good rim protector, a good rebounder. Just kind of like the perfect mold opposite of what Al Horford brings on that court. Yeah, Al Horford can do that stuff, but you much rather rely on Al to be that offensive power, and then Robert Williams can be the defense that Al doesn't have to try as hard on, even though he is a good defender still. So it's hard to think about, but Robert Williams has consistently been injured, it seems like, every single season this year. I hate to say it. So do we know if he's going to be able to come back healthy? We don't really know for sure what to expect out of him, but this team still pretty much brings back the entire same core. They did officially announce their final roster player is going to be Justin Jackson from North Carolina, 27 years old. I forgot he existed completely. But they still haven't really addressed their biggest issue, in my opinion, and that's going to be the center position. Obviously, having Robert Williams come back in about 6 weeks as the estimated timetable there will help them out a lot. But as of right now, their center position is Al Horford and Luke Cornett. You've got Kabengele, who is 25 years old. He's shown some potential, some flashes in his time with the Clippers, time with the Cavs last year, but not a lot of time on the court. So they've got, a few unproven guys. I guess Noah Vonleh could technically run center. I guess if he really wanted to be bad, Blake Griffin could run center, but he's barely able to move enough as it is at the power forward position. Do you really want him ruining that center position if you're a Celtics fan? I guess that's something they'll have to figure out. But they've got to figure out what they're going to be doing with this center position, because even when Robert Williams comes back, there's a very high chance that they push Al Horford to that power forward position and Robert Williams starts at the center position. Other than that, though, they do still have, Grant Williams, Derek White off the bench. Marcus Smart is still there. Peyton Pritchard is probably just going to get better. He's been consistently good. He's never been great. He's probably not ever going to be a good or a very good starting point guard. He's probably never going to be a starting point guard for a while, but there's an opportunity in his career now. He's going to consistently get better. He's got an opportunity to continue to play for a contender, and maybe if he plays well this season, get himself a nice little contract there as a good point guard. Not an amazing point guard, but a good point guard, a guy that teams would, or player that teams would want to be on their team. And on top of all of that, this Celtics team did get better this offseason. Outside of, Danilo Gallinari, obviously he's injured, so that signing's kind of a little unfortunate at the time now. But Blake Griffin has shown flashes. And, last year or 2 years ago on the Nets, he looked really good. Last year, kind of reverted back to his old self on the Pistons. He fell out of the rotation. He wasn't going anywhere. And it's probably best that he gets a change of scenery. But obviously, I'm skipping over it altogether. Their biggest signing of the offseason, or not signing, I guess it was a trade. Their biggest acquisition of the offseason, Malcolm Brogdon, is definitely going to make a huge impact this season. It's been a long time coming that the Celtics have wanted to go for a legitimate point guard. We saw them go after a guy like Dennis Schroeder, who obviously didn't work out. He had a major payday or offer from the Lakers, rejected it. Everything went wrong for him, and he had to basically accept a very tiny offer from the Celtics to try and be their point guard. Unfortunately for both sides, it didn't work out. Dennis Schroeder just wasn't that guy for Boston. He got traded at the trade deadline whenever they were trying to flip their season around. And at the end of the day, it has been a long time since the Celtics have had that true point guard. I mean, I guess you could count Isaiah Thomas, but Marcus Smart definitely isn't the type of guy that you want handling the ball on every possession. Sure, he can do it to a limited degree, but he does make his fair share of mistakes. He's not as consistent of a ball handler as a guy like Marcus or a guy like Malcolm Brogdon can be compared to Marcus Smart. So I think that's why this is a very big acquisition. Also, their defense was already good. Their offense was already good, and Malcolm Brogdon does both of those things at a very high level for the, the contract he's on. And that's why, if I'm a Celtics fan, I'm very excited about this. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a question of whether or not their season can go perfect. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I doubt they have a slow start like they did last year. I doubt they're going to be that bad. They're probably going to be not as good as people expect them to be, but they're definitely one of the top 4 seeds in the Eastern Conference. Maybe like Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Boston, and who else would you consider? I guess Philadelphia maybe would be the main contenders, or the top 4 to 5 contenders. I guess you could throw probably the Miami Heat in there as well. So there's a big what if, or a big margin for error if you're a Boston Celtics fan, because they have a chance, to go anywhere from that 1 through 5 seed. And if their team, stays healthy and they don't have a lot of injuries, and they play like they did towards the end of last year, obviously they're going to be a very, very big team, or a very good team, and you're not going to want to mess with them. But at the same time, all these distractions, head coach Ime Udoka is out, suspended for the season, so they're coached by a guy who, I believe his name's Joe Mazzulla, who has been an assistant coach there for about 3 seasons before this, but he's never been a head coach. So it's going to be interesting to see how well he can lead this team, what guys are going to think about how he's being, or how he becomes the head coach. What are they going to feel about him as their coach? Sometimes the culture of a team is very telling on how their season will go, and we'll just have to see if the chemistry is still there, obviously, between head coach and the players on the roster. But at the end of the day, like I said, they're still going to be very good. I'm just concerned, if I'm a Celtics fan, if they missed their perfect opportunity, because everything fell together almost perfectly, almost too perfectly for them last year, and you kind of feel like they used up all of their luck in that finals run, and unfortunately for them, it didn't pay off in the long run. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about the Celtics this year. Are they going to be in the finals again? Are they going to repeat a finals appearance? I'd love to hear what everybody thinks, so go ahead and comment down below your thoughts on this situation. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.